behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Tonight, the city of Chicago looks to host a active and wild night for the Mystic Racing League. As tonight, the Slim Chickens Cup Series is in the Windy City. As we are all set to start things off for the Lakeshore 190 here on VSPEED. Welcome to tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince alongside the booth for tonight's Morgan Cook as we prepare for this evening's coverage from the Chicago Street Course. We're running close towards the end of the regular season, but Chicago is expected to provide some different type of racing, Morgan. Last night was wild in Casual Class Company racing. The Truck Series was wild. We expect tonight to get wild.
This racetrack, while it may look simple, just a few 90-degree corners, some 45s, and a fountain section, it's anything but. This track is so bumpy and so technical that it is hard for drivers to get around here without hitting these concrete walls that line every inch of this racetrack. And those concrete walls, JP, as we saw last night, you can very easily get caught up sideways and block the entire racetrack. Happened at least 3 times last night, and that will cause chaos for the entire field. No fast repairs, mind you, tonight.
Got to make sure to preserve your car, to say the very least, tonight. Drivers are already advancing forward. Remember, 5 races, including tonight, are left in the regular season before we start that chase for the championship that brings us all the way to October. You have tonight, you have Iowa, the Brickyard, Richmond, Daytona, a part of the upcoming slate of races. It's going to get hectic in the next few days to see where we go and where these drivers stand. We have a long pace lap before we get rolling for tonight, so it provides a lot of opportunity to discuss things in turn, Morgan. This is going to be an important race for some. For Ashton Crowder, he is your pole sitter coming into tonight and looking to decimate the field on speed, looking for the sweep.
And look at that
Back
margin, too. The lap times 2 seconds, first to second.
Was about to say, near 2 seconds ahead of Becca Brown, Ricky Paz, Trevor Keith in the top 4, Dustin Lewis behind him alongside Luke Barnes in amongst your top 6 here this evening. Dominic Rossi starts alongside Chris Woodstone, will make an appearance tonight in the 29 car. Braxton DeWeese makes his first appearance in the Cup Series in a bit. Then it's Zachary King in the top 10, Morgan.
11th for Dylan Calkins in the 81. Christian Barnes will start 12th this evening. Row 7, Elijah Maupin and Jacob Cochran in the battle of the double-digit cars. Anthony Marino Jr. starts 15th, John Ullman starting the 16th spot. 17th for Joshua Gillen in the 10. David Moyer rolls off in 18th. In your top 20, Reggie Time, and Indy Kirkenbauer.
21st goes the way of Andrew Shobe, with Jesse Winnington in an appearance tonight in 21st as well. You also throw back to Zach Davidson and Gavin Hinson, who are going to be amongst the top spots also. Skylar Dixon and Travis Bennett will be in the field tonight. Bennett starting from pit road. McCoy Benke next in the order alongside Jack Fiffner. Then Trevor Yates would be next in the order, next to Clayton Good. And rounding up the entries tonight is Zach White. Now, of note, 2 drivers are not in session. Andrew Shobe and Trevor Yates both are not in the server, meaning they will not make the start to begin tonight's street race. But as we're talking about tonight, this is expected to be an interesting one. You have the conversation for the championship. No River Hayes tonight, your current points leader. That's going to make things interesting for that side. But with 55 laps on the board and us likely to make the field in the first 2 stages, it could get dicey by stage 3.
And pit road here, so difficult to get onto under green. You basically have to bail on the last corner, which makes it difficult to get onto that pit road with hitting the tire barriers. The barrels. We'll see that probably once or twice this evening. And strategy, you can almost take it and put it aside, because as you mentioned, we can make it on fuel for stage 1 and 2. The final stage, there will be a pit stop somewhere. But at the rate we've seen cautions this week, I wouldn't be surprised if that pit stop was under yellow anyway in the final stage.
I wouldn't be surprised too. We were talking about the potential of incidents, caution flags. Seen a big track blocker in the Council Glass Company Series last night that collected most of the leaders. Guess what? The projected 1, 2, 3 still finished 1, 2, 3 in that race, and 2 of them are in the field tonight. So something is going on, and can confirm we have some challenges for drivers to the rear because they registered late, Morgan.
That's right.
That includes your pole sitter. You also Zach Davidson, Trevor Yates, as well as Bennett, all to the rear for registration late. It will have to start from pit road.
Which is a obviously fairly hefty penalty, 20-second hold in the pit box before you can leave, and then you got to roll pit road speed until turn 1. Then you're able to join the field. Now it's Brown and Paz. Get this thing underway. Off of the final corner, turn 12, JP. Headed to you.
Happy with us from tonight's coverage from the Windy City. We're underway with the Lakeshore 190. Ricky Paz third last night in the top spot right now with the wrecking ready. It's DeWeese in front of the field. Wrong way around. Will we get a caution flag? Not yet. Flag stays in the pocket of Barney, and no yellow comes out. DeWeese to the back.
Another one. Reno Jr., I think, involved in it. That
He's
car's
also
around.
got Jesse Winnington's also around the same section. So, oh, and they're wrecking in the back with the drivers out of pit road. That's Crowder that just had an issue right with Marino Jr. Might have been just at Marino Jr. coming across the track. Yes, he did, in front of the 44. Beckett Brown, meanwhile, on screen, just trying to hold on a second in front of Lewis, who led some laps last night.
Brown going for the lead already on Paz. Couldn't quite get, oh, nailed the wall behind him. Few drivers. That Zachary King just ended the day on lap number 1. Oh,
Still
my
gonna
goodness.
try and roll it. you have hard contact. Jacob Cochran to the inside wall. Also,
Yeah, Cochran killed that car.
Second race in a row, he's picked up heavy damage, including last night. Cars are stopped at the racetrack. Now they're reporting technical issues for the race leader in Paz. As lap one's complete, Ricky Paz, podium last night, leads to start.
Chaos. That's all we can really say. Oh my goodness. Did we just see a big group of melees on that first lap? Calkins on pit road for damage repair.
That's your fill-in for your point leader tonight for the owner's points in Accelerated Motorsports Equipment. So the 81 to the back of the field. Remember, Hayes led the points tonight, had that advantage still by about 100 over Isaac Wilson, Barnes, then Bollinger, who is not expected to run much of the race, is to say the least from here. Him on the top 5, Curl, we haven't seen in a bit. Meanwhile, 3 wide in the opening corners is not great here. Some of these drivers not afraid to say, I want all the spots right now. Let's go aggressive.
And Crowder already inside the top 20 off of pit road on lap 2.
That was with the contact who we just mentioned. That's already damaged his race car, but the race lead. Second time's the charm. Brown not able to clear yet, now does. And look who's up in third. It's Luke Barnes.
Luke Barnes shot out of a cannon on the opening lap, went 3 wide to the outside, made it stick in turn 1. Hasn't looked back since.
Remember, Barnes was solid last year in particular. Look at how defensive Brown's getting, though. We know in some previous runs, Brown has been a dominant driver of the road courses. Tonight, obviously, going to bring some different challenges with the entries here. But that 45 can do well on the road courses. He's parking every apex, though.
He's almost running like a short track where you almost brake check at that 2/3 mark of the corner to make sure the guy behind you can't get a run off. It's almost what the 45's doing right now.
Yeah, right now, this entire top 5 is separated by under 3 seconds because you can technically throw Lewis and Trevor Keith into the mix. There's a look at Keith for reference. Dealing with a heavy bit of damage, actually.
That was from that lap 1 incident.
Yeah, that front nose is crushed, the left front's crushed, but he's, interesting enough, still running a decent clip. He was quicker than the leader last time on.
He is one of the better road racers in the field. This 43 has been excellent on road courses as long as I've known him.
Trying to survive right now as Lewis claps the wall in front of him, avoids damage to the Black Diamond Enterprises car. As you see some of the air battles as they go. This is already Crowder to 15th.
He did pick up damage from Marino Jr. as well. Can confirm. Look at the left front of that car. See it here, a bit of a scrape inside the wall.
Bit of a moment for Fiffner as move around a couple different drivers.
Kirkenbauer's around.
Race control is aware of it. The 5 having issues and still trying to turn around. Let's take a look. Mind you, he just got creamed in live action too by Travis Bennett. So this is going to take a moment. You can see who lost it.
Now with Bennett, who's just entering the section for 99.
Yeah, and people are wondering, are we going to get a caution? Are we going to get a caution? There's cars still parked in live action, mind you, from it. And then Bennett just doesn't expect this.
I know what that's like. I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, it kind of happened to you last night.
That exact same thing happened in turn 3. Identical situation. Bennett's still rolling. Somehow that car isn't worse. I think Moyer maybe. Oh, Moyer stuck to the wall. That car is destroyed. See, the tires are not pointing the right direction.
Somehow got a meatball flag, but that car's not making it all the way around the way it's driving.
No, that car might not make it to the next corner at this rate. Hemorrhaging positions.
And it looks like he's going to go straight to the cut through to get the tow. That would already put us at 4 DNFs already, or 4 drivers the minimum down pit road for tows. Calkins did come back out after 2 minutes of repairs. Mind you, the top 5 has splintered to a top 2 breakaway, as there's the tech issue for Paz we were just talking about. Brown holds on in front for now as that 28 tries to find a way to retake the lead.
Keith trying to get around Luke Barnes. Remember, Barnes rocketed up to the front of the field, battling for the lead, now falling back into the clutches of Keith in 5th position.
Barnes did lose 3 seconds last time, as Dominic Rossi just had an issue. Take a look at the heart of the field, some of the others.
Yeah, Maupin hit the wall, lost a bunch of spots.
Yep. So, for the issue for Rossi falling on the order is he nearly cleaned out Zachary King trying to turn around and come into the second to last corner. As you can see, the 66 trying to survive. Maupin still running cautiously in a different look 66. Already heavy damage.
There's King with the right front battered from hitting the wall. Down in the opening lap, turn 7.
Yep. At this point, you know it's a challenge for a race. You know these leaders, in many of these cases, like here, are getting the chance to battle. How do you try and get into a proper rhythm here with Chicago? Because it's a rhythm track that it's hard to get a rhythm at. As you see, there goes the 8 to 15-1.
You're right. I mean, the racing line and the getting past line or racing somebody else line are very different. Indy Kirkenbauer is just meatball. Oh, that car is all sorts of not the way it's supposed to be. I believe this happened down in 5. We'll get to your question in just a sec, JP. Let's see what the 5 did. Oh, this car is evil. Oh, my goodness.
And he just towed as well.
Yeah, on the straightaway.
Yeah, he crashed about 10 seconds ago to add on to it. The thing is, he also got help with that crash. That would have been with Anthony Marino Jr. after he slammed the wall before he towed the race car. Was about to say, you have to make sure you survive here, and obviously no fast repair is going to factor in. Luke Barnes just hit the wall. He smoked the left front.
Yeah, that car's hurt as well. But to answer your question about how you stay in a rhythm is understand what your pace is. If you're battling for the win, good for you. That's fantastic. Drive slower. If you're battling for 15th, that's terrific. Good for you. Drive slower. Don't hit anything, because if you take yourself out of the race, you have no shot at it. If you're going to get caught up in an accident, make sure it's not your fault. You'll go to sleep better that way.
And right now we're about halfway through the stage. It looks like Alonso's just had an issue. He just spun around again in turn 7.
Oh my goodness,
but
this Barnes car is out of control, out of
yeah.
the corners.
Has he burned up the rears, or is that from the damage from the left front, you think?
Left front shouldn't make it wobble like that out of the corners. Just hit the RB sign again. I mean, the turn through the center, that would be the front damage, but out of the corners, that's just right foot. It's just too much throttle on the exit.
To the braking boards this time, as kept a little bit more smoother here, although it's already lost near 2 seconds to Trevor Keith as a result of how things have gone to start off this part of the lap. Brown, by the way, started separated for the race lead more than a second. Also recovering is DeWeese, who's now back in amongst that fight for the top 10. Gavin Hinson right in front.
A solid run for these guys. Yeah, DeWeese obviously had that spin. Lap 1, corner 1. Now fighting back. Remember, he was beside Trevor Keith. That right or that left side damage on the door matches pretty well with Trevor Keith's damage on the nose of his car.
And Anthony Mario Jr. just had to tow the race car. Another driver with an issue. What happened to the 48 this time? As he's already hitting the wall down the straight. That's not good.
Oh yeah, that's killed. Just tore the front end off of it. You can tell under braking that car is not right. Yeah, he just said, you know what, enough is enough.
Side of tow, and he's already left the track. So he's already off to visit the skyscrapers. all while everybody else tries to make sure to keep it on the pavement racetrack-wise. Here's Good, working his way right now in the 12th position. Was about to say, Good's up 16, Hinson's up 13. Benke is in the wall, and he just joined the tow truck club.
Oh, he was up 12, too, for Benke. In this minty green car, a little maybe more aggressive than mint. I think Trevor Keith maybe had a problem.
Now we'll see what happened in that is, I don't know what he did with the numbers.
They're small.
But they're small, and the roof number was upside down tonight. But at the very least, I don't know if you expect that.
Yeah, well, expect the unexpected. This is the MRL Slim Chickens Cup Series.
But as you said, Trevor Keith had some slow ups. Gavin Hinson still holding on to his slide in front. That is Skyward Dixon, 8th spot that just caused all that smoke. Christian Barnes has caught up to him. So you have the battle going on for the top 7. And you have the battle going on for the top 10. Louise not wanting to use the bumper. Here's a look at that battle for third. You were talking about Keith lost the 1-2 second gap. Right now, Barnes providing a ton of pressure after a 1 second loss from Keith last time by.
Maybe into 6, we'll see the 04 try and make a move. These cars are both battered to heck. Oh, big slide for the 04. Oh, my goodness.
Lit up the rears again. What can you do to preserve them at this point?
Yeah, we're already too far gone to worry about that. Windstone's around from 4th.
Up from the top spots, the 29 will plummet down the order. See ya, indeed. And by the way, part of the reason he went around, this might be look-worthy, should be worth mentioning. Reggie Kime was being lapped in this situation. Morgan, you see how he passed by the 9? That pushed him off the racing line. You know how far back he was to enter the corner? He was 15 car lengths back. By the time he got to the center of the corner, he got to Reggie Kime's door.
Let's see it live. Well, not live. Let's see it in a replay form.
There's being aggressive, and then there's this. Like, how does this even stick?
He didn't drive it in that deep, actually. Considering what the braking line actually is, he didn't really go that hard into the corner. Kime is just playing it so safe that it kind of drew the 29 in.
Is there a fine line between safe and that, though?
It's a broad line. It's there, though. I mean, we're talking about, you got to remember, we're talking about the two of the drivers, Zach White was in that frame too, who are the only drivers a lap down who haven't hit anything.
Right now, you've seen Dixon already losing spot to Barnes. That Speedway shoots machine trying to keep the car together has already been weeble-wobbling and a lot of these corner exits. DeWeese, Hinson, Good, all queued up to try and pass the purple 89.
Don't get me wrong, this track is difficult, especially if you're not a road course person. This place is tough. We're seeing a lot of drivers have issues getting around here without hitting anything. Zachary King just destroyed the car.
Another tow. Dixon is already pulled back from DeWeese. Here's the step 51 situation. Another one, turn 1.
Oh, yeah, that's done for the day.
If this was real life, he would have been deep in the tire barrier. Would be a caution.
Noah Gregson.
Yes. Well, Cody Ware, you can also argue too, has found barriers in that way in this car. But race lead fluctuating between 2 seconds to half a second distance. Paz matching lap times. They only had 7/10 of fall off, give or take, for the race leaders. Everyone else, 2 seconds of fall off.
Oh, look now, Ashton Crowder up to 6th position from pit road.
He's gained 8 seconds in the past 4 laps.
Yeah, he's moving. He is moving.
Looking for the full weekend sweep, and he's looking very strong, to say the very least. Talked to him last night during the post race.
Biffner.
Here we go again.
That's not going to turn.
Nope.
No, not at the 27. 21, sorry. Rossi.
That's an hard hit for Rossi. These drivers were running in the teens.
Here's what caused Fiffner's issue. The corner before. 12. Ooh, that's a big hit. And then, yeah, this thing just simply, he's probably got wheel in it to turn it, and it just did nothing.
Break?
Oh, no, he just had enough. Yeah, I don't think he really put as much effort into that as he could, but I don't think it was going to make a difference anyway.
Did downshift, didn't turn.
Let it happen.
And Rossi, by the way, has got steering damage from that contact. But all that's to say, as White moves alongside, Roger Ford. Yeah, that 77 had a bit of a wild one, but I was about to say, right now, this battle is one of your closest ones on the racetrack. Dixon earlier breaking DeWeese with the advantage.
And we see the inside. Oh, he did not cut him a break. The 89 squeezed the 14 through the apex. Now turn 2, good, almost spun under braking. And away. Oh, good, it's still struggling with the power down.
Little loose for the 91, able to hold on to it. Oh, wow. They stay single file this time in East Roosevelt Road. A little bit of scrape into the wall for the 91. Remember, this track originally was concept-wise done through iRacing for the Pro Invitational, eventually became a reality by 2023. And from there, hosted racing action for a few years in the heart of Chicago. There is rumors, in real life we go back here, by 2027. DeWeese in 2026, meanwhile, gets through, nearly got turned by Dixon on the cross-up.
That was close. I think there's a lot of rear brake in that 89. It did not like hitting the brake pedal.
Yeah, Dixon is really parking in front of Good. Good nearly pushed him to the corner. Still over the bumper. And there's a chance this 89 gets
really
pushed
struggling.
along.
Yeah, really struggling with rear grip. And so is the 91, although the 89 struggling into the corner with rear grip. It's Good struggling off the corner with rear grip. And Hinson's just kind of waiting for one of these drivers, or both of them, to make a mistake so we can get by.
Dixon is the benchmark to make stage points right now. He is the 10th place car. So if you want at least a point to help out your standings, you gotta go. Good coming into tonight, 11th in the point standings for back of car 39, Gavin Hinson.
Yeah, still, they're just struggling behind Dixon right now.
Oh, they both hit the wall, though.
Here comes Good.
Perot's closed. They've already reached 2 to go for the release leaders. Good.
Deep
drives
dive.
around.
Oh, I think, did he miss the corner? Oh, he's going to get hit for his efforts. They're going to both go around.
There goes Hinson on through for 11th. Can he get 10th back? He's looking inside. Hinson to rip away 2 spots. Not yet.
Oh, he can't get off. He can't get on the gas. That was the right move, but he couldn't finish the job.
And now, all of a sudden, Dixon has a decent spot to still pick up 1 stage point if he can hold off Hinson for what's going to be a long 2 laps. Mind you, they are 1 minute behind your leader.
At this point, the leader they don't even exist. They might as well be in another city entirely. You only care about the driver in front of you, but more importantly, keep the car in one piece. Oh, yeah, he just got shot in the back. Oh, my goodness.
What did I say about the bumpers coming out potentially on Dixon?
Good just missed the corner and drove right into the back of Hinson.
Yeah, absolute lock-up in a half. My goodness.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, man. I mean, I know you're trying to get it here, but let's not be ruining races just for that potential of 1 spot. I mean, he wasn't even close to making the corner.
I think he just missed it and locked it up, absolutely slid into him.
If it wasn't for Hinson, that car's done for the day.
Exactly. Nose is crushed, by the way. Crowder already has closed another 7 seconds. If this race had no stage cautions, he'd be in the lead by halfway.
And with the stage cautions, he will for sure be in the lead by halfway. Oh, Barnes just caught the wall.
Crowder up to 4th on his charge of the field. Apologies coming over the radio, by the way, from Good with the lockup situation. All that is to say, your top spot for the stage, Becca Brown, that 45 car, has been able to hold off Ricky Paz for coming up to now 14 laps. If he does hold on for a final couple corners, the 99 last night, 91 last night, I should say, the 28 tonight, keeping things lockstep for the winner from Nashville.
Only a couple more corners remain. Down here into 12 and off of turn 12. Becca Brown going to win stage number 1.
Brown picks up the stage, and behind him, Ricky Paz. Then you have to go a few seconds back to get to the next car, which will be Trevor Keith at car 43, and the top 3 in the stage. Luke Barnes does finish ahead of Crowder, by the way. So something happening to Crowder in the final corners to see the pass go right by. Meanwhile, Dustin Lewis does get 6th spot, and then it's going to be a while for some of the others. Chris Winstone, despite his slides, we see him inside the top 7 in car 29 tonight. 8th appearance for Braxton DeWeese in the series. Sees him score inside the top 10 to start. Christian Barnes the same way. And then the battle between Dixon and Hinson stayed calm for the final time around. The 89 able to hold back the 39. Green, white checker flag should turn to yellow. Yes, it will.
I think the most interesting thing about the way this race is shaping up is, remember, the leader is about a minute ahead, as we mentioned, of 10 to just cross the line. Becca Brown's going to complete a whole nother lap before the pace car comes off pit road.
I think the pace car is actually coming out this time, though. Didn't necessarily make it to the line at the time of the stage caution, but went out to go hard on the brakes. There's the safety car.
Let's just say that would change fuel mileage. Didn't end up doing much in that way, but that would absolutely change fuel mileage later because we'd end up going green 1 lap later than normal. But your top 10, Brown, Paz, Keith, Luke Barnes, Crowder, Lewis, Winstone, DeWeese, Christian Barnes, and Dixon getting stage points here tonight.
So it becomes the question here on how this is going to go for stage number 2. We know Crowder's going to have track position now. We know everyone's going to come in and probably take tires and fuel. So at this point, what's the game plan? If you're some of these drivers, says we have some lockups there for some of the lap cars catching up to the pace car.
I think it's I'm going to say this over and over tonight. Do whatever it takes to make sure the car's in one piece. You have about 2.5 minutes to fix damage. If you need to, fix it. There's only 18 drivers left in this race who don't have significant damage. I should say, who are still able to run without hitting pit road. So Dylan Cochran is back on the racetrack. I think that car is pretty okay. There's some drivers in front of him who need to pit, certainly, but everybody behind him, Pfiffner, King, Banky, Moreno Jr., Kirkenbauer, Bennett, Moyer, Cochran, Whittington, and Davidson, those cars are done for the day. So you're only going to fall as far back as 19th. Keep the car running clean, fix the damage, put 4 tires on it, don't put yourself in danger, don't wreck it for yourself. That's what I'm telling my driver right now up on the pit box.
The entire field getting itself sorted out, by the way. Lucky dog this caution period. Already 13th, by the way. Elijah Moppin will get the lap back in car 66. It's after some of the hits, and last and lead lap at the top of the caution was Clayton Good. So here we go. Should see pit stops coming up this time by, for those tuning in, Slim Chickens Cup Series currently working its way into lap 18 this time by. The stage ends this time for the second one at 30, as pit stop time. Here they all come.
There's that very difficult pit entry I was talking about. Those barrels are right there to be clipped.
Gavin Hinson spun. Gavin Hinson wrecked the car trying to catch up to the queue, spun around, and multiple drivers passed the 39 as a result.
But trying to get around the 88. That's how Clayton Good got around him. I think he only actually lost one spot because of that.
Now we'll see how race control handles that with a couple drivers passing by. Hearing Dustin Lewis may have gotten speeding. Race up pit road already won by Brown over Paz, and Lewis had been top 3. We'll keep an eye on what happens to the 8. And as you would expect, a lot of people taking the time for repairs. That includes Crowder and many others fixing their race cars here.
Well, we got a minute. Let's chat with Becca Brown. What do you say?
I mean, why not? Let's see what he has to say.
Becca Brown, Morgan and JP up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you guys?
We are doing quite well up here. Well, stage winner led everything at the start of the show here with Crowder starting from the pit lane. What's it been like out there on the streets of Chicago?
Pretty nice. Pace has been fine. Literally kind of slowed it down there at the end, just trying to keep the tires on it.
JP?
Absolutely. It's been interesting so far how challenging has it been to try and maintain the lead while also making sure not to have any slip-ups, knowing Paz is behind you, knowing Crowder is likely coming to this field in stage 2.
I'm not really worried about pads. We're pretty even on pace. It's really just trying to manage the lap cars and not spin out doing it and giving them any damage. Probably not going to try to go for the win, trying to get as much stage points as we can, and just try to finish the night clean it up front.
So, on the note, game plan for stage 3.
2.
Or
Let's start with
stage
stage
2.
2.
Stage 2. Almost lost track of my stages.
Going green the whole way, so I don't really see a point to flip it. Let's try and stretch fuel as far as we can, run it dry as far as we can.
Let's get back to your team. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Becca Brown, stage winner, curling up in front as a lot of the cars still getting repairs are finishing up the repair damage. A couple of the drivers are not coming out of pit road, though. That includes Dixon, that stayed in the lane and is not coming out of the car. In fact, stayed down in the lane, and Dustin Lewis has stopped because he needs to let everybody go with his penalty situation. So now that all is to say, Crowder, after all his repairs, will still be in the top 5 for the restart. Watch the 44.
Yeah, now that we have the cream rising to the top, Crowder's up here. Keith gets another shot at it. Winstone's been good. Obviously, Lewis ran top 5 most of that stage. DeWeese drove back from basically last. Christian Barnes has been fine. I mean, we've got a lot of very good drivers up at the front of the field here. I'm curious to see what the pace looks like if we can just keep from running into things up at the front. How far is the spread in the top 10? That's what I'm curious to see, JP.
It's going to be an interesting one for this stage, especially with what is now just about 11 or 12 cars left on the lead lap here for projections. So at this point, we already talked about what we're expecting here, what we may see. A lot of the fast drivers now towards the front. Christian Barnes, though, might be one of the drivers to keep an eye on here on the stage. He's been pretty solid in each of the races, at least seen from my perspective here, Morgan. Not sure what you would have to say. This 27 might be a top 5 contender here, potentially, if he keeps it clean, because he hasn't really gotten in any trouble this week.
Yeah, I saw him far too much yesterday, I think, for his liking. Back just at the top 10. I think he got 11th in stage 1, spun in the middle stage 2, that I Almost got into him in the middle of 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's been pretty good for Barnes. He hasn't hit much. Unfortunately, I just don't know if he's going to be able to sustain this top 3 pace that's going to be required to hold off, you know, those 4 or 5 guys behind him. I think he has top 10 pace. I just don't know if the top 5 is going to be in the cards at 27. If it proves to me wrong, hey, I'll be the first one to say congratulations. But I just don't know if 27's got it here tonight to have that kind of speed.
So we're just about ready to go. They're doubling up. Brown, Paz, Barnes, DeWeese, Crowder, Keith, Hinson, Winstone, Barnes, Lewis are in your top 10. We'll have about 11 laps to race it out here with all the service now complete. Let's find out how this is going to go. Remember, that 44 going to be someone to watch in this stage from row 3. Keep an eye on it after the start. Brown's on the gas. The inside line's moving. Already, Barnes looking for second.
Oh, 3 wide. Oh, jeez.
Keith was one of those ones poking, and then the wall is passed.
Cold tires.
He's trying to take over second as a result. Be the highest up he'd be on the night. Still hasn't been able to make the pass, though.
I think drivers forgot that these tires are cold. You can't push the same way you could at the end of that last run. As holds on for second.
Play some defense there, as we'll find out how aggressive some of these drivers want to be here on the run. Crowder continues to run that different line. What do you feel about that? Because he's been one of the few taking the left side. He's also playing it conservative to start. He just got attacked by Keith.
I mean, that's his game. That's what he does, is he takes it extraordinarily easy at the beginning of these runs so that he has all the speed later. What did you say at the end of that run? He's made up 7 seconds in a couple laps, whatever it was. Yep. This is how. It's because he doesn't go at the same pace as everybody else at the start. He has it all for the end. Oh, lock up behind him. Barnes into the back of Keith.
No damage, though, for Keith. He'll keep driving. He's fixed most of the damage, if not all of it. Hinson, after his spin earlier under the caution, back in line. Resets. He's fixed just about all the damage, too, even with the hard contact under caution for the 39 to the wall. And hearing people saying, can we throw the caution? Maupin's the run. He stopped on the track. So was Winstone. Maupin wanted a caution.
Now. Yeah. Let's see what the fuss is about.
Yeah. What is this about? He was on his own.
Yeah, he just stopped.
Stopped.
That's.
And then started yelling on the radio, throw it, throw it, throw it.
And then there's the 29 around. Spin out of 1. That's, oh, somebody else just crashed hard in 1. Who was that? Was that Kime? Oh, it was Jacob Cochran. And cake the turn 1 wall.
Well, no caution. And Luke Barnes is in the wall.
Oh,
no
yes.
4. Another hit to the barrier, and the front end's crushed again.
This was the corner I had the most trouble with last night. I don't know what he's... Like, there's no way you're going to fit that car in there. And then, oh, Hinson just cleaned him out. Oh, man. Yeah, that's... And he's in a really bad spot right there.
That's not a great spot, absolutely. Any further back, anyone collected in might throw a caution from that. But all that's to say, as we take a look at the battle going on for 12, this is the lucky dog battle right now. John Ullman is the lucky dog right now. That 34, right ahead of Gillen and Rossi, all in a queue.
Oh, Dustin Lewis done for the day.
He just absolutely pulverized the tires.
He He's trying to make that rubber matting that goes on the playgrounds.
Yeah, you would think that would be not painful, but it still hurts to fall on that rubber padding.
Yeah, this car just did not. Oh, he locked up the rear brakes. Oh, man. Rear tires off the ground and everything.
Yeah, and that brings our total of DNFs and DNSs to near 50%.
Well, and that's a great example that I was talking about earlier. Just keep the car in one piece. I mean, he was running in the top 5 for most of this race, top 7. Clearly had speed to finish this race well, but you can't finish the race if your motor is exploded because you hit the wall too hard. And even still, he's been on pit road for a minute. He's still in 11.
Well,
oh, there goes Gillen.
And right in front of some of the leaders, able to still keep it straight though. Big slubs as well for Cochran. Reggie Kime right in front of Dixon, trying to hold on. Hearing that good also had the car snap on him, also in that stretch. So everybody's having troubles here. Good saying, I'm doing the same amount of braking, and hold on, Gillen's in the wall again. You take one look away, Morgan.
It's kind of what it feels like. I know I've missed a lot of spins and incidents tonight, and I apologize to all the drivers who are going to look back at this and say, I can't believe he missed me spinning. But when you have eight wrecks a lap, it's really hard to catch all of them. I apologize sincerely, drivers.
By the way, the context I heard on the radio from Mop, and he was able to get back going, had a pedal issue. That's why he was on the radio, Morgan.
Gotcha.
Apparently had no controls. He, I think if I heard correctly, requested to just DQ him if he stops again.
Ah, I see. Well, to be fair, his no control, just being able to kind of park it nicely in between 4 and 5, is still more in control than we've seen a lot of drivers tonight. So props to the 66 for not absolutely annihilating that wall, even with only maybe 1 or 0 of his pedals working.
Crowder's picking up speed, by the way. The race leaders are running 128 still. Crowder is in the 126s. The thing is, he lost a fair few seconds. I think he was trying to work in the tires to start. Here's a look at his onboard camera tonight.
Yeah, he is just doing his thing. And you mentioned that alternate line. I'm going to give you 2 guesses as to why that line exists.
NASCAR?
Well, yes, but you know why?
I think I missed the reasoning before, but I'm going to guess it's something to do with the grip levels.
It is. And do you know why?
Because it keeps the tires at a certain temperature if you go to that lane instead of going straight to the right.
So close. Shade. Track shaded.
Good. Ah. All the milliseconds you can pick up. And better yet, keep the tires cool to last longer.
Exactly. That's exactly the reason. Not to give away all the secrets here on the VSPEED broadcast, but that has a big part of it. Gavin Hinson, Luke Barnes has had a problem. That car's on pit road.
He's running up towards the front in the 04. He's now joined the vehicle graveyard. Race lead.
See if we can figure out this incident with the 04. He's left the session. That's done for the day. Down into 7 again.
Yeah, turn or hit the wall coming in. That's a bad sign.
Just
yeah.
didn't turn. Yeah.
And just like that, car list continues to grow in DNFs. Lucky Dogs now still John Ullman over Rossi at the moment.
It's technically Luke Barnes at the moment, actually. It's the lucky dog.
It's not gonna be.
Now it's Ullman.
I was counting the cars not on the track because technically you need to be on the track without an incident to get the lucky dog. That being said, Paz and Brown still equal. Look who's coming. It is that 44 though. He's within 2 seconds. He picked up 4/10 that time through East Concourse Plaza Drive.
Yeah, I think the field are just counting the moments until the 44 is driven away from them. I wonder what's going to happen first. Will Crowder catch the top 2, or will the top 2 catch Zach White?
Right now, you see Paz's tech issue is going to be, I think he may scrape the wall with the tech issue.
Pretty big tech issue. Where is, the Paz car is, there it is, just in front of Crowder. And the answers happen at the same time. Wow.
He didn't even try and fight it.
Yeah, just got out of the way, which, I mean, rightfully so. That is his 3rd lap down for Zach White. Really no reason to hold the leaders if you don't have to.
You know, the interesting thing is, a lot of people matched what Crowder did last night in the Castle Glass Company Series race, yet they're not doing it here in the Cup Series. I don't know why.
Matched in what regard?
That line that we're talking about with the shade.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just because this car has more mechanical grip than the National Series car. That could be part of it. That you don't feel like you have to. Also, I don't know if there's as much shade in spots on the racetrack to allow that. I think Trevor Keith may have had an issue while we're watching that battle. Maybe not. Front nose is knocked in a little bit on the 43, but battle for the lead is on. Brown, Crowder, and Paz up at the front.
Here comes Crowder looking towards the right. How hard does Beckett Brown try and defend this? Already earlier in the brakes is the 45. Crowder on the outside. Now has the preferred line, goes to Crowder. Brown goes for the cross-up on the send of the crossover. Now it's Crowder on the crossover. Oh, here comes Paz as well.
Oh, man, what a block. And now Crowder's going to go back to 3rd.
Under 4 laps to go on the stage. Crowder resets. They all scrape the wall. Now Shade goes all over the racetrack as they reach lap traffic nets. Reggie Kime is up the road. Paz again doesn't want to try.
Kime is into 6th.
Able to squeak through. All of them get through. No issue.
Now the turn 7 that has been so difficult for drivers. Different line geometry for the top 2. Crowder's there.
Here we got on the bumper. Might have another chance for turn 1 again. Crowder looking to keep himself lockstep with the 45. Coming to 3 laps to go in stage number 2.
Into turn 12. Just a few laps left in the stage, JP. It's getting interesting up the front.
Crowder's backing up his corners a little bit this time. Might be trying to think of a better spot to make the pass after seeing the send last time. There's where he's thinking about it.
There goes Paz. Spun behind him.
Lost it. Side by side for the lead. Crowder tried the outside. No.
Again, closed off by the 45 who's scraping the wall.
You can see what Crowder was thinking about after knowing the cross-up attempt last time. Now, turn 6 might be a juicy spot to go for it. He's got decent speed in that section. This time he's not even trying the shade because there's shade everywhere.
Yeah, overcast conditions. The track is your oyster, so to speak.
Crowder tried the right. Now tries to think about the inside up to 7. Brown parking it still. Now there's the contact. The bumper. Brown hits the wall. Beckett Brown in the wall. Crowder with nose damage, but he leads. Obviously a little bit of a bump there, but I don't think that's the reason the 45 went around. He definitely hit that inside wall, Morgan.
Yeah, he did. And the other thing, too, is if you're going to block that aggressively, anytime somebody gets to your rear bumper, you're probably going to receive a bumper or two. So I would say, considering the moves led to that, that's probably one of those, hey, just remember that there's more than one car on the racetrack moments.
Pit road is closed. Pit road is closed. This could get interesting for the stage points, by the way, because, first of all, Paz lost spot to DeWeese. Second,
I see what you're saying.
We have a car a lap down in the top 10.
That's right. So this is exactly what I was talking about before. This car is a minute and a half behind the leader, which means that this stage is not actually to 30. This stage is to 31. And the end of 31 at that. So we're going to have to go another full lap under green before we can get to the caution period. Everything's going to get shifted back a lap because of Dominic Rossi being a lap down and in 10th position. Because Crowder right now is just going through the fountain section.
Right.
And Rossi is just entering turn 2. So Crowder's about to take the white flag of the stage here in about 10 seconds. And Rossi is nowhere near the end of this lap. And DeWeese has gotten around Paz as well. Paz really starting to struggle.
Yeah, we've seen that with the slide earlier on for the 28. He's all over the bumper, though. Trying to give him the business, if you will.
Literally pushing him through the corner, turn 12. Give him the business. Where'd you hear that before?
Years ago, I forget where it was. Regardless, DeWeese runs a fair amount of different leagues. Usually brings a very loyal fan base. He usually is a strong competitor on the ovals. Road course-wise, he's been able to hold up pretty well. Though he made some starts starting in this series over the past week or so, in fact, here in the MRL.
Now starting to attract drivers from different walks of life, if you will, different skill levels, different backgrounds, and it's really quite something to see the community growing the way that it has. And love to see new drivers come in here and run well and basically have a changing of the guard, so to speak. That's not the same guy running well every week.
Reggie Kime, by the way, has in the past few minutes also put it on the tow truck to add on to the list. But we're coming up to end this stage. Ashton Crowder already in the final sector. Right now, Rossi holding on to the lucky dog / 10th spot. Crowder will work his way to the green-white checkered this time by. Joshua Gillen just in front. Will not get passed by yet by the 44. Then it's Brown in second. DeWeese does hold on in front of Ricky Paz. And then Keith, top 5 effort for car 43. Then it's another 10 seconds back to the 27, Christian Barnes. He's able to hold back Good, who, despite his slides all stage, still got stage points. Still a decent effort in 7th. Gavin Hinson in 8th, right in front of Winstone. And we'll find out how it's going to go with Rossi in 10th.
This is one of those... Ashton Crowder just crashed.
Oh my goodness.
What happened? We'll catch up to the top 10 here in a second. Did he get help?
Yes, he did. And
oh my goodness.
I think he was backing up his corners with it being the end of the stage.
Right.
Brown.
Oh, they're all wrecked in front of him too. Oh, Brown just got him.
Caution is out.
Unreal.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm a little confused as well. I want to go back and see one thing quick. We saw a few drivers in the tire barrier. 77, I don't really know what happened there, but I think Ullman's in there as well. Yeah, Ullman also having a little swap meet down there in turn 4. And then eventually you see the incident. Oh, Gillen, wow, right on the back bumper. I don't really know what happened here on this lap. And this is where that, wait till the 10th place car crosses the line to throw the stage gets weird. Is in a race like this, where the lap is so long, that we just saw a bunch of drivers have odd incidents on that pace lap.
Crowder said on the radio he slowed down because the cars were stopped in the corner in front of him. There is a lot of conversations going on with race control coming into play here. So remember last night there was a checkup effect under caution, and I know you jumped on the radio with that too after it happened to the car behind you with the penalty.
Right.
If you make contact under the stage caution, that's a penalty. But here's the thing. the yellow itself had not been out.
That's right.
I believe race control just said they will be calling it post-race. We'll see. So we'll find out what happens here.
Yeah, such a weird situation. Again, just because of the way that we were still green under the stage, since, of course, 10th place still hadn't crossed the line yet to complete the stage. That's obviously where it got a little bit odd. And whether it was intentional or not with the 45 and the 44, it's hard to say, because, of course, of the way that the lead changed hands a few laps before. It's a fairly layered and nuanced issue, and I'm curious to see how these two race each other going forward. Because now you would call it even, essentially. So now what?
And I don't know if they're giving Crowder the spot back yet or not either. That's the thing. Because in real life, you would in theory keep the spot, but caution wasn't out.
Right,
So,
and that's another thing too, is I don't think it makes a ton of sense to have the 44 get spun under caution from the lead
yeah.
and end up having to enter pit road in 5th. But it seems like that's the way we're going to do it here.
So pit stop's coming up. Remember, by the time we get back going, it'll be about 21 to go from what it looks like here. By the time we pace around, finish up the service, etc. And that is not in the fuel window. So there is, as the yellow cone gets clipped by Brown anyhow. Here they all come. Lucky dog is Rossi. Race control is making the call on the review. So we'll see what happens on the call as they all jump in. Race control is giving a warning to the 45 and the 44. 44 will retain his spot. No further penalties. Warning to the 45.
Yeah, that's about, I think, as good as you can do in the situation. Yeah, not much more to be done, I wouldn't think.
44 just refused the spot.
Ah. All right. Seems to be fixing damage as well, Crowder is.
Yeah, we had front damage, so I'll fix the nose for a second time tonight. But race control is definitely monitoring if there's any more traded paint for the race leaders here.
And let's do a little housekeeping, JP. We started off this race with 29 drivers. 2 did not make the field. 31 total were in the session at some point in time. We have 16 of them still running. I mean, technically the 88 is still running. Technically, does not a factor in this one anyway. He's in 20th, 14 laps down. But Zach White, the last driver, who is 3 or less laps down in this race. And the top 11 are on the lead lap back to Calkins in the 81. What do you expect to see the rest of the way here?
What do I expect? Expect to see the 44 zip its way to the front within the first 10 laps, and then dramatic battle for the race lead. And then from there, it's the question, do we get a caution or do we see green flag stops? I think that's the biggest bit of this here, Morgan, is you have to find a way to save 3 laps somewhere. And I don't know where that's going to come from yet.
That was going to be my question to you, is do we see a caution like we have the last 2 nights? Or do we see this final stage go green? Will that pit stop be under yellow or under green?
It's going to be a huge question, I think, on everybody's minds here. Still a lot of conversation on the radio, by the way. But the restart coming up here, we'll see how things get sorted in a moment because there's still repairs being done. Hearing 10's getting a wave around because there was cars spun around and didn't get a wave around. Said because of the spin arounds, should have been up on the 81, but was not. Regardless here, as the 10 takes a wave, Coming up to the restart this upcoming time by. Brown is ahead of Paz, DeWeese, Keith Barnes in Whinstone. Crowder down to 7th. Henson had another minute and 40 seconds of repairs done. Good, another 2 minutes of repairs done. Then Dominic Rossi would be in the top 10, at least per the markers here. Calkins 11th as the wave around. He's going to have to come down pit road in a few laps anyway. So, what are you expecting, Morgan?
Well, I've asked that question many times this season. I think we're approaching probably 60 times I've asked that question, whether it was to myself or whether it was to other commentators up here for MRL shows. And the answer always seems to be expect the unexpected, because some of the things that we see, whether it be in the KT IndyCar Series, Downtown Auto Sales Truck Series, or the Slim Chickens Cup Series, are just baffling. And it really couldn't even be scripted with some of the things that we see, like that, contact under the stage yellow, not quite yellow yet situation. Couldn't script that, and yet here we are. That happened. So I really have no idea what to expect here. I'd be surprised if we didn't see a yellow, but then I also would have thought that a few incidents already would have brought out a yellow. So I guess we're going to find out, JP. How about you? What are you expecting the rest of the way?
Chaos.
Much more succinct than my answer.
I mean, we've seen a bit of chaos. There's been a couple cases where we could have got a caution, didn't get it.
That's right.
So if this keeps up the trends, we might see chaos incarnate.
Certainly could be on the menu. I don't know if there's a car left in this race that hasn't received damage yet. I think everyone's hit something.
As we get set to go here, how does this go for the battling? We still have 18 cars total running in this one from the Chicago Street Course for the Lakeshore 190. Here comes Paz to time it up on Brown. Green. Inside line, spun the tires. Brown able to hold on to it though. Ricky Paz will look to try and keep himself gripped up on the outside. Still equal. There goes Brown to the race lead in defensive already.
Oh, super defensive move. Puts Paz on the outside. Won't get the run off the corner, down for 3. Bunch of drivers receiving black flags under this restart. Not sure what the reasoning for that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion, I think, popping up here for a couple drivers here. They've
Brown
all been
just caught
cleared.
the wall on the exit of turn 5.
Paz still keeps it on the bumper. Crowder's already making the moves to get back up to the top 5, by the way. Crowder said he hit a bump. Nearly bumped into the 27. Barnes now under attack, meanwhile, by Whinstone, who's under attack by Good, who's under attack by Henson.
It's so difficult to make a pass here, because if you make a pass and you're on the wrong side, somebody fills that spot immediately, and now you're in trouble of losing one instead of gaining one.
Yep, absolutely.
Pass around the outside for Good. Almost. DeWeese lost some time.
Oh, big lockup for the leaders. Brown to the wall. Brown and Paz both slam in. Crowder takes the lead as the 45 and 28 stay locked together. The leaders have wrecked in turn 1, and they are still wrecking.
Here is another look at 45. Oh, there's DeWeese having his moment. What a save for DeWeese. That thing was dead to rights of the inside wall. Oh, Paz just locked it up and shoved the 45. Oh, he hit that wall so hard. Oh my goodness.
So big locker for the 28, slams the 45 and turns the wall. They both slam into it.
And then he got
45.
him again. Yeah.
I almost wonder if he thought the 28 pushed him through there with intent, but the 28 did say apologies on the radio right as he got turned around. So
And that
obviously
that brown car's just killed. Won't turn.
Gonna have to come down pit road.
Heartbreaker. It's a good day.
Dixon in the wall, same for Cochran. And by the way, Crowder's the leader in all this again. So Crowder took the lead, I think, quicker than he expected in a script line he wasn't expecting yet.
Trevor Keith up to second, just on virtue of surviving in this one. Deweese third after that. That death wobble probably saved Deweese from being involved in that accident with the leaders as well. Funny how that works sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, again, how some of these moments can be. Brown is into pit road, by the way. And really, this kind of exemplifies how any little mistake gets amplified in a street course.
Well, how many times have I said tonight, just don't make a mistake. Just don't take yourself out of it. We've seen so many drivers make mistakes that took themselves, and in this case, others, out of a chance to do well in this race. Maybe not to win. I don't know if anyone really is going to have anything for Crowder when it's all said and done, but at the very least, I mean, second is still on the table, third, fourth, fifth, et cetera, they're all still available. So by taking yourself out of it, you're just losing that opportunity, and it's, you know, you're going to have a bitter taste out of your mouth to leave Chicago street course.
Skylar Dixon, he's now plummeting down the order, hearing he might be in the wall, and he's rolling.
7, yeah.
And he is destroying the car bit by bit. Eventually, he's going to run out of a race car and turn into a go-kart.
Running the modified division pretty soon. Had to bail to avoid the 81. And then, yeah, he smoked the next wall. I think Beckett Brown, oh, still on pit road here. He just got passed for a few spots, but.
So with that being said, we watch and see where this is going to go, because Crowder's already pulled away by 3.5 seconds. Keith and Deweese in top spots. There's pit for Dixon. Outside of that, this is actually, despite the car spinning, turning to the one more calmer points of the race, all of a sudden it feels like.
Well,
Still
have
have drivers like
cars to have incidents with. I mean, it's much harder to have an incident when you've only got, what, 16 on the racetrack, 18 on the racetrack now versus 31.
Absolutely, could be that case for a lot of these drivers. Joshua Gillen did make a scheduled pit stop just now, so we are in the fuel window to make it.
Oh, 29.
And Wicks,
wow.
no pit call.
Holy cow.
I mean, you're in the window, may as well take it now, I guess. Take the fuel only.
That doesn't get much closer than that. He just about got cleaned up by the 91. Playing good.
Now, I'll say, Sun is fully back out in force, by the way. See how much that 44 is trying to keep things stable up front. He's pulled an air 410 so far to start the lap. Dylan Calkins down pit road.
Number 81 took the wave around as well. Try and get the lap back. It worked for a little bit, but he's in the window, so I guess it's not the worst thing. He should inherit that top 10 on the lead lap spot back when things get back to racing.
Yeah, really good drive I think you can say for DeLees here. This is kind of expected with this league repertoire, calling him in multiple different series. You've had the experience with Keith, though.
That's right.
But has really taken advantage of the situations and melted down for some of the drivers. Keith Stone has kept himself stone cold with the chaos, if you will, in second.
And he needed just a good, no mistake run. If we remember back to Sonoma, which was his debut in the series, did Dominic Rossi just crash?
Let's see.
Something happened with Paz. Go back and look at this second time here. Could have just been a pass for position, but it looked like something odd happened. Skylar Dixon black flag as well.
I have a strong feeling the tech issue came into play.
Yeah, I think it was just Paz with the... Oh, he stopped to let the blinking pass by. That's what it was. Okay. Anyway, back to Keith. Sonoma, earlier this year, had one of the fastest cars. It's going to be him or Rebecca Brown that won that race, it seemed, until one of the most baffling gaffes of pit strategy I can remember cost him essentially the win, ended up finishing 10th with no fuel crossing the start-finish line. I believe you were away that week. So, I mean, he just needs a solid run here, no mistakes on the pit box or on the racetrack.
Dixon, done for the race, is parked in. So in our car, it's had issues here. 15 to go at the stripe.
Yeah, Brown's still on pit road. Been there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to come back out of this point. Good just said he's pitting this time by because he nearly spun it, coming onto East Jackson Drive.
Least on pit road.
And the longer you go, the more you have to wonder who's going to take tires with these calls, who's just going to take the fuel. For comparison, Winstone did take fuel only. Gillen took tires.
I would say you're probably taking fuel only if you have a car in front of you can catch and you think you're better on the long run. But from here on out, that's a long way to double stint tires. Already 8 laps into this run, you're going to have to go 15 more. I'd almost argue just take tires and just chips fall where they may.
This is turning into a domination station day, and can't remember the last time, or would have to check back on the last sweep of a weekend at the racetrack at the very least. Morgan.
Never happened. This would be the first. It's never happened before in this series.
And for Crowder, he's on the track to do exactly that, to make history.
And he finished second at Road America in the KT IndyCar Series on Tuesday, so he's potentially going to have about the best average finish you can have over 4 races.
He's going to talk about earlier on. He's in the chase conversation right now for the Castle Glass Company Series. He did indicate last night, wasn't sure what his availability was going to be looking like by the time we get to the fall. So it could get interesting how much we see of him in about a month or so when we get the postseason done.
Well, I don't think many drivers are seeing much of Ashton Crowder right now anyway. 9 seconds in front of Trevor Keith and gaining. Pushing Barnes on pit road, but ever since Crowder showed up in the Mystic Racing League, it has been one dominant effort after another.
Here's an indication for Josh Gillen, who somehow sent this while in the middle of driving around the racetrack. That the total for Brown, by the way, for those curious, the damage total was 8 minutes. We might see the 45 back out. Gillen also said he doesn't like road courses. He's running just outside the top 10. Keep it on Crowder.
Yeah, this has been a really great race for drivers who just maybe don't love road courses. They don't have the pace to keep up with the top, 8, 10, but just didn't hit anything. I'm looking at guys like John Ullman, who's running 12th. Haven't really said his name today other than that odd swap meet parking lot thing down in turn 5 with Zach White. I mean, they're teammates. They're in the same chat. They can just talk to each other there, but I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Elijah Maupin, who's had issues today but is still running, is 13th. Zach White has had issues, still running, is 14th. This could be a near season best for the 77. I mean, Dylan Dawkins has had issues, but again, still running. He is 10th. Joshua Gillen is 11th. I mean, drivers who would probably put their hands up and say, I don't like road courses, I'm not good at them, still having some really solid points days today. And that's just because you can finish a sentence for me, JP.
Well, I'm trying to think exactly the way to answer that question. I
Didn't
just
wreck
missed
the race
point.
car. That's
Yep.
okay. They didn't wreck the race car. And here we go. Oh, there goes Zach White wrecking the race car.
Indeed.
Oh, we wrecked the race car twice. Back-to-back corners. Well, there you go. Right in front of Paz, who's running third. Hinson's up to fourth now with the pit stops.
Yeah.
Oh, he just bailed.
Wow. 77. Spin around two.
Honestly, not the worst move. Seeing Paz right behind you, and Paz was closing in so quickly that I can't blame him for that move.
So as we come up to what will be about 11 to go, Hinson in the range of the top 5 now, in the 4th position. Paz has recovered back to 3rd. At the least for Hinson, good points haul. In the Cup Series, he needs it. He fell down to 10th after last week.
Yeah, he's running pretty well here today. Just, again, solid day for him. Yesterday, not really the best day for Hinson. Caught up in that big accident. Down between 7 and 8 today. Kept that car relatively clean. Has had a nice solid day for the Rob's Custom Wraps 39. And again, he needs, like you said, points are at a premium this part of the year. We don't have many races left. You don't have many opportunities to get back to a chase position or increase your chase position. So for him to be able to have a day like this is certainly what you need.
Exactly here. Leader is in, by the way. Crowder is in. And the 44 will take tires. So this gives Keith his first lead up at the front today, but he hasn't led a lap yet. Still needs that point.
Well, I don't know if needs that point is true.
How about wants that point?
Wants that point is better. This 43 is nowhere near a playoff spot in owners' points or drivers' points. This was supposed to be a full-time entry this year, if you can believe it. I think that lasted a week. Hinson on pit road. No, he spun. Hinson spun.
Oh, wow.
In turn 1.
So definitely not for pit road in this situation, as I think he got hit by a car after this too, because he hit the barrier. You'll see right here. No.
Ooh,
And
that's a big hit.
Joshua Gillen also just spun in turn 1 too.
Here comes the 10.
Yep, see him rumbling, stumbling about here.
Ah,
Loud pedal.
loud pedal for sure. Lucky no damage though on the 10. Those sort of spins are just, get what you get. It's hurt the rear tires for a little bit, lose some time, but you don't actually hurt the car at all. The one for Hinson though, he got lucky that he didn't hit it right on that rear tire.
We might have a problem here. 66th runway around to the racetrack. That's the caution.
There it is. Caution's out. Oh boy. That changes things.
Now, don't think it's, yeah, you see down on the downshift spun it. And he is stuck.
And that is the worst possible place to be turned around backwards. Like, that is the most heads-up driving you're going to see by Gillen. Wow. How did he not hit the 66? Check this out from the roof.
Turn 6.
He has no idea that car spun right now. Maybe see a little bit of smoke through the billboards, but oh, there's a car there. Whoopsie.
Oh,
that's crazy. Good for him. Could have been a race-saving move.
Elijah Maupin said his talent meter ran out.
Didn't put the quarters in.
It accepts only $100 bills. Don't you know this by now?
Oh, no. Well, no wonder. No wonder it goes out.
So, Trevor Keefe obviously going to have to pit here. Will not be the leader. Ricky Paz also has to pit. That is huge for the two of them because depending on where they get when they get the pit road open, they could lose a few spots here.
Yeah, this is normally in a situation running long on an oval and catching a caution is a great thing because you're able to cycle into a spot where a lot of drivers a lap down, you can end up gaining spots. Road courses are the opposite. You do not want a caution in a cycle because now you're going to cycle back behind everybody else who has basically the same equipment as you, and there's really, you're going to have a hard time getting it back. So this is bad news for Keith and Paz, who are the only two yet to pit in the top 10.
Find out what they're able to do to get back to some of those spots here. As everyone catches up to the pace car in the back straight away. This caution comes out, by the way, with 9 once again on the lead lap. Henson was the last one on the lead lap. Henson had also just pit. That's why that situation.
Joshua Gillen just said we must think that he's just dodging stuff while texting and driving, and I think that's actually exactly what you're doing out there, driver 10. Somehow doing some Neo Matrix kind of dodging on that 66 car while you're telling us about it in the YouTube chat. So multi-talented is the 10 car. Don't text and drive, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do it.
Yes. Get into car accidents that way.
You do. You sure do. Much more serious and backing into the turn 7 wall.
So here we go for pit stops for those who have a ticket service. This also, mind you, come at a time where so have it set available if needed. That was where it got a little bit interesting yesterday. Castle Class Cup Series racing action. There goes the expected cars. Gavin Henson also apparently back down.
I mean, if you have damage to fix, might as well fix it, right? Henson was already on pit road.
He was already down pit road the lap before, so I'm not sure why he rolled back to his box.
Interesting. Drive-through penalty, potentially? I don't know. That's an odd one. He was only in the box for 0.7 seconds, so I don't really know what happened there. Beckett Brown back on the racetrack. 6 laps down and 15 for the 45.
Getting more service done as
Cochran is stopped on pit out. That's a horrible place to stop.
Was about to say that too. 66 is a wave around coming up here. Chris Winstone is now second with this, and because of the time of where everyone else was, Keith and Paz came out third and fourth.
Wow, that is actually quite a break for those two.
That's a huge break. You're talking, in comparison to Winstone, 9 lap fresher tires to Crowder 3.
Well, I guess everyone behind them pit as well. DeWeese, Barnes, Good, and Rossi was just catching up to the field now. They all pit, so I would have expected Deweese Barnes and Good to leapfrog them by staying out, but that was not the case. So yeah, great break for Trevor Keith and Ricky Paz.
So, lap and a half before we get to a restart. That will set us up for what will be about a 6-lap dash. So far tonight, the under is winning.
Yeah, you're right. We never talked about that, actually, at the top of the show.
We were talking the over and under. We were thinking based on the week, about 6.5. We're not going into 6.5 tonight.
Well, it's possible.
You're just hoping for 3 caution flags back to back to back to make the over.
I am not hoping for any caution flags. Let me make that very clear.
Okay.
But I am saying there is a mathematical possibility that we could see them, given that we have unlimited green-white checkers.
Right.
We would run out of cars, but it's possible, is all I'm saying. I do not want that to happen. I cannot stress enough, JP, how much I don't want that to happen.
Absolutely. So, on that note, haven't talked about this too much with coming up to 4 races to go. Iowa is next week too, Morgan.
That's right.
Because now, keep in mind, in Caswell Glass Company Series action, I believe they finish up at Watkins Glen. Daytona is the cutoff race for this series. So you have 2 short tracks, a super speedway, this road course, and a, I guess you would say, intermediate for the Brickyard, which, mind you, is a crown jewel race.
It is.
I mean,
it's a full distance race.
That'll be a different day, remember?
On a Sunday, yeah.
26.
I think Daytona is a full distance race too, is it not? The final race of the year? Or of the regular season?
160 laps scheduled distance, but that is on the 7th of August.
Which is a Friday.
Right.
Interesting. That might have just been a mistype on the calendar.
Find
we'll
out
see.
for sure.
Yeah, we'll know by the time we get there for sure.
That in mind here. Crowder, Winstone, Keith, Paz, Deweese, Barnes, Good are your top 7. Calkins is in the top 8. He's been laps down much of the evening. He is in the conversation for a finish.
I mean, look at that front tire.
Is that going to make it?
The left front has been pointed the wrong direction since before the caution. He's just limping it around, trying to keep spots, and doing a fantastic job at it, I might add.
Right ahead of Hinson and Ullman, by the way, in the top 10. Only Joshua Gillen outside of that. Really on the lead lap, or was.
Yeah, Ullman, Gillen, and Rossi are all 1 lap down.
Right.
Hinson, the final driver on the lead lap, yes. And Hinson also has that same damage.
And heard that Crowder, I believe, is going to change up the line here for the restart.
Right.
Just about every time the leader's taken that left side, I believe, might see him on the double up on the right side, I think is the indication heard.
That is entirely leader's choice here. You can take whichever lane you choose. Everyone else has to just fill in where you normally would via the black box.
I think Winstone missed that call because he's not moving to the lane.
He'll get it eventually, I'm sure.
Race control's
There it
going
is.
to go to the left.
There it is. Well, JP, I don't know what we're going to see on the other side of this turn 12, but best of luck.
Crowder, 6 laps away from the first ever sweep in the MRL for its top 3 series. We're back underway. Paz is going 3 wide. Paz with the send for the race lead. Crowder keeps it pinned on the gas, takes the lead back through 2.
Oh, they're almost wrecking behind him. Deweese got out of line. Somehow they all made it through that. That was almost wee bowling down into 2.
And Able to survive and make sure no one becomes bowling pins in the
Oh,
alley.
DeWeese is wrecking on his own.
Never mind on the bowling pin part. He is destroyed.
What a hit for the 14.
Good run all night. Lost it on the bumps. Coming up to the right-hander. South Lakeshore Drive can bite you. In that case, it did.
Quick look back. This one had the lap car beckoned around all over the rear bumper. Yeah, just touched the brake pedal and crossed the racing line. Only one driver involved. It was the 14, who is heavily, heavily damaged.
Bit of contact, by the way. 45 just got sent into the wall. 43 should say by the 45. Keith got a bump on a send. Keith is not happy on the radio. Beckett Brown just got another warning for racing the race leaders here.
Yeah, pretty unreal that the last car running is putting people in the fence. I mean, I just have no idea what we're doing here. I mean, like, just unreal. Net 0% chance of making that move work. And you just wreck somebody's day because what? You couldn't stand to see the back of their car? I mean, unreal.
Don't think there's any major damage from it, but still, Keith lost a spot to good from it.
Any damage to the nose of these cars is detrimental to how they turn through the corner. And
Absolutely.
now that he's behind good, he's going to have to fight that much harder through the dirty air, which is very prevalent in these cars also at this racetrack to get by the 91.
They've called Beckett Brown to the hauler for post-race. So, he'll be having a talk with race control. Less than 5 to go. Braxton DeWeese.
Home to the grandstand after that one. Goodness gracious.
Well, on a different note, Christian Barnes in 7th. He is right behind Calkins, actually, who's picked up a spot recently.
And remember, Calkins has that super damaged front tire, so he can't get through any of these corners. I think Barnes might as well. No, Barnes's tire is pointed straight. He just can't clear the 81.
Barnes trying to find a way to do this cleanly. Rides the bumper this time. The WFR car. Looking on board. You see him searching to find his way around Calkins. DeWeese blowing the motor on pit road. Barnes looking for the crossover for 2. Gets him loose. But the 81 still parking the inside. Now Barnes looking to pass with a better brake mark, though. Has the zoom. There goes Barnes.
And Trevor Keith did get around Clayton Good at the same time. See a replay of the battle just in front of those two. Pass into 1, tried to cross over in 2, but Keith had the preferred line. Drag race down into 3, 4, 5. Not contested, but Keith ends up with the edge.
Gets it back to the 4th position. Coming up to 3 laps to go. Crowder, his gap is already 5 seconds. This 44 just needs to stay green for a few more miles.
Only battle on the racetrack for position within a second is this one right here. Battle for 4th. Good trying to chase down TK. 3 to go.
And really, when you think about this race, it was a lot of chaos, just one caution for cause. Calkins wall. 81 just collected the 88. No caution yet as Calkins is stopped. There it is. Yellow is out.
Well, that changes everything.
Right on cue.
Right on cue.
And he had a chance for a top 10. All he had to do was avoid any walls.
Oh, it just locked up.
He was locked up for a good half mile.
And then Cochrane tried to avoid him and couldn't have squared him up any better. Yeah, that's a tough one. Well, Hinson also wrecked the car. Meatball flag for the 39.
Oh boy. Again. Yellow flag already out for him.
I don't know if this was before. We'll see if it happened in one. It might have been before this incident. And there's the yellow already out.
Can't confirm he hit the wall. Lap 50 coming to 51. Final corner, missed it.
Okay, so a little bit before where we saw right there, maybe?
Would be right about here, but there were cars behind at the time.
Interesting. So maybe the previous lap. Either way, this Hinson car, heavily damaged. Yeah, it's already got the tire turned in.
Yeah, that car.
Mangled.
Absolutely. And as this is going to go on, I don't think we see people pit here, obviously. There's not enough time to recover if anyone stays out. But, I mean, it's an hour chance for Paz to attack. And we'll see how this goes with Winstone, Keith, and Good in the top 5 for what's going to be overtime in Chicago.
You know, honestly, pitting here, probably not the worst decision. Because with Hinson, who has the meatball flag, that's 7th. And he's on pit road already. We've only got 6 cars on the lead lap. So what is pitting going to hurt you if you're not the leader?
I mean, you're right, absolutely. Because when looking at it...
Especially looking at some of these cars as well. Like, front's torn up on the 91, on the 43. 92 looks good.
Lowest you get is 6th.
That's right.
You can probably take a top 5 back from it as long as you aren't the driver who's sent to the barrier.
That's right. And who's to say this is the last caution either? Very well could see something go awry in these final laps. We are obviously well past. Sorry, we're coming up to the stage distance, apologies. Or the scheduled distance would be next lap, actually 55. I forgot, not last night where it was a 45 lap race. 55 laps here tonight, so we are going to go to overtime regardless with this caution.
As Paz goes back and forth here, we'll see if he goes down the lane. I think he's trying to keep an eye on Brown as they do not come down. Only Hinson was down pit road. Nobody took the tire call, by the way, Morgan. Nobody.
That's reasonable. I mean, I can understand it. Cold tires as well, probably not helpful. I was thinking more for damage repair is what I would have pit for, because I just think that that would help you if you're maybe Paz, maybe Keith. And again, you're only going to lose, 4 and 2 spots respectively, and you can probably get those back. Maybe not the 4 for Paz. You can probably get the 2 back for Keith, just based on, restart shenanigans.
So all this is to say, as we continue this caution period, race will come down to a dramatic end. Remember, if we get to the white flag, it's a race to the checkered. If we get a caution flag before we get to the white, we will restart again. We have unlimited green-white checkers if necessary. So up to 14. Remember, where's that
15.
number?
15.
15. Regardless, it's a hard number to hit.
Yeah, for sure. This would be number 1 of those, since it's not natural.
Right.
If it was 1 lap sooner, I believe this would be natural. Maybe 2 laps sooner. But just because of the collection of the field and all of that, not quite. Well, if you're interested in more road course racing action, Spa 24 is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow, I should say.
Special event. You have a lot of different people going racing at Circus Francorchamps, to say the very least. Gonna be an interesting weekend to see how the top teams battle it on out for the special event, as well as for the various leagues that have also decided, for those who don't want the official spa, to host their own spa. You know, spa days for everyone.
Spa days for everyone. Unfortunately, they're not very relaxing days at Spa. I had the displeasure of attempting one Spa 24, and while obviously a very difficult race, difficult track, and quite the test of endurance, that the car we had crashed so many times, we all just at one point just started laughing and said, you know what, it can't get any worse than this. We were the last car to finish of the drivers who finished that race many, many, many laps down. So good luck to everyone tomorrow attempting it. It is not easy by any stretch.
That it definitely isn't. Race control saying, please do not get into any trouble, essentially is the message. Crowder looking to try and pick up the win. He's led 20 laps now since getting to the front of the field. Ricky Paz in second, Chris Winstone, Trevor Keith, and Clayton Good. Barnes, Hinson, Ullman, Gillen, Rossi for your top 10. And look to stay that way. So at the very worst, I think if you're on the lead lap, yes, you'll only get as worse as 8th. So as long as you don't bend the car, you get a top 10.
Yeah, Kalka's out of the race in 11th.
Yep.
Worst hill fall, too, is potentially 15th. 14th, looks like, actually. Interesting race still ahead of us. There's still positions up for grabs all throughout the field, so. You may be wondering, why did Jacob Cochran stay on the racetrack? Well, he's on pit road right now, but why did he come back when he was last? Because he gained 10 spots in doing so. Points racing still matters, even if it's not up in the top 10.
Getting all geared up and ready to go. Once again, just have to work half a pace lap through, and we get ourselves sorted out for the restart. And all you can say to that end is, as Crowder takes the right lane again, Crowder looking for what would be his 3rd Cup win in 5 starts. If he's able to hold off the pack and avoid any mistakes here to end this one. Field told to double up this time through. By the way, more than 50% of the field tonight, Morgan, finished on the hauler.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And Patricia was high here in Chicago.
It was.
Car bill was expensive.
It sure was. Millions in wrecked race cars.
We're ready to go. Paz just got to the mark for Crowder's door. 2 laps to go from the Windy City. Crowder able to clear. Keith alongside for second. Crowder looks to run. Battle is on for P2.
So Keith is going to be able to stick to the inside, overshoots a little bit, past crossover. Does he get there? Loose. On the exit for the 43, they will be side by side down into 3, 4, and 5.
Back they work with some side-by-sides with Paz able to get up to second position. Christian Barnes in range to try and battle with the Moso. Lap and a half to go.
Half a lap until this thing becomes official with the flying of the white flag. Paz cleared by 8/10 now over Trevor Keith, who's trying to hold off Christian Barnes for a podium position.
Barnes not closing though. That's the wrong way to go if you want to gain. Needs to find a way to get half a second or so. Slides the tires. Loses ground as a bit of wall contact for Keith up the road. But we're coming up to the white flag this time through for Ashton Crowder. Coming up to the final time around here from Chicago. The 44 is up in front. Final time from the Windy City.
12 more corners to make Mystic Racing League Series history. Nobody in the history of this series, iRacing or console related, has swept a weekend at the same racetrack. Alec Kyle Busch. He won in trucks on Wednesday. He won last night in the National Series. And tonight, he's about 7 corners away from doing the same thing in the Cup car. JP, take us home.
All he needs to do is keep it smooth for half a racetrack to make history. He's been a dominant force ever since joining in the past couple months here in the Mystic Racing League. It's been a challenge to beat him every single time he started. He's been a competitor up at the front. The former eNASCAR pro go through the final sector now. Ashton Crowder won in the trucks on Wednesday. Thursday, picked up the win in the Castle Glass Company Series. And tonight, completes the trifecta. It's Ashton Crowder with a full Chicago sweep. He wins it in the Windy City.
And while he did that, I believe, incident for Trevor Keith in the final corners. 45 was up in third, going to finish in 6th position. Oh my goodness, Christian Barnes just crashed. Did he get to the line?
Yeah,
I don't know if he did. He didn't get to the line. What on earth?
He didn't get scored at the line.
He got him. Wow.
Barnes fell to 7th. I don't know about that one. That was on top of the finish line.
So here's Keith behind Paz. He got into the back of the Paz machine, sideways in the racetrack. Barnes just drilled him. And Good squeaks by for 2 spots. Unreal. Wow.
Definitely an unexpected top 3 if you're in the case of Good.
Oh, this 27 can't steer. That's why it spun. Look at the front tires.
Yeah,
Windstone got by him. Tried to put the power down and it just crashed.
Then on top of the line,
that is crazy. I've never seen that.
Somehow didn't get scored as the crossing the line with his rear bumper across.
I've never seen that before. That is unreal. Either way, Ashton Crowder wins what was one of the more interesting finishes you're going to see here in Mystic Racing League. But 23 laps led for Crowder. And as we've already documented, that will sweep the week. And he was 1 spot away from going 4 for 4 in the Mystic Racing League this week as well. IndyCar Series by KT. He came runner-up in that one.
What a day. And celebration time for Ashton Crowder.
Your results here from Chicago. Ashton Crowder going to get another win. Ricky Paz comes home in second. Clayton Good with the surprise 3rd place. Incredible finish for him after a bunch of drivers had incidents. Coming to the line, Chris Winstone will finish in 4th. Trevor Keith slides up to 5th after the incident. John Ullman in 6th. What a great run for him today. Christian Barnes 7th after not being able to be scored at the line. Gavin Hinson in 8th. Joshua Gillen after texting and driving all night, will finish in 9th. And Dominic Rossi, 21, will finish in 10th.
Then 11th goes to Maupin, 5 laps down ahead of Zach White. Calkins fell to 13th in the end. Becca Brown in 14th, Reggie Kime 15th. DeWeese in 16th with Cochran, Dixon, Barnes, and Lewis. A part of your top 20.
21st, Jack Fiftner with Zachary King in 22nd. McCoy Benke will finish 23rd. Marino Jr. short night finishes in 24th. Kirkenbauer 25th. Bennett in the 26th spot with Moyer 27th. Whittington was 28th. Zach Davidson was 29th. The rest of the drivers did not take the grid. Shobe 30th and Trevor Yates in 31st.
Well, Dr. Bonham, your run, you're here tonight in this one, as it's a visit to Sofa News Victory Lane once again for a familiar name. Ashton Crowder just finished burning it down around the entire pit road. Ashton, how do you describe this one? You get the first ever sweep of a week at a track in the top 3 series.
Hey, it's unofficial for now, allegedly. So hopefully we'll be okay as long as we pass tech. But yeah, no, I mean that was pretty incredible. I forget which track we were at, yeah, it was New Hampshire. That's exactly what it was. And had some guys intentionally wreck me in that. I had a chance for a sweep there. They started wrecking the crap out of me, and I was like, well, dang, that's so lame. So I really didn't know when the next time I would have a chance to do it was. And then, you know, we got the truck race. That was hard. And then the Xfinity race was harder. And you know, I'd never run the Cup car at all. So, I mean, I was not too confident. But then practice came around, and I was like, essentially like 2 seconds faster, and I was like, well, if I lose this, it's really gonna be sad. So that last caution, it seemed like it was on the other side of the track. That was pretty disappointing. But it all worked out, so I can complain a little bit. But yeah, it was good. It was great.
How do you describe the characteristics of this car compared to the other facilities, or other races here this weekend, I should say?
I mean, well, interesting is a horrible way to describe it. My bad. It's very different in the fact that the brakes don't work quite the same. The truck and O'Reilly, they have. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. They have like a weird kind of like instant feedback feel, where that's not really like how brakes feel in cars. So you can kind of get away with some stuff in those that like you can't really get away with in this. But the way this car feels, I mean, the brakes, like essentially like in real life, you're like pushing almost like as hard as you can on the pedal. And like for the force that you can give, you get that return, I suppose. And if you go into it too much, you will lock up. But it's not like how it is in the truck and Xfinity car, where it's like almost immediate. I don't know how else to describe it. So this has a lot more of a realistic feel on the brakes, and unfortunately, for me anyways, and probably the rest of the field, the Xfinity and truck, they don't feel very realistic on the brakes at all. So if you don't have a lot of experience with these, you're kind of just out to lunch. And then like how you downshift too, that's the other thing. Like the other two, right, live rear axle, so you got to really be good on downshifts. I was using a lot of clutch in those cars. But with this, still using clutch, but not quite as much. And you can kind of just like get in fourth gear, and then like into third, into second, and then like even when you're going down to first, it's almost like you can shift at 9,000 RPM. So yeah, it's very strange, and it's hard to hard to get a hold of, and then it's hard to know where the limit is. I think that's kind of what makes the difference, at least with the guys in real life, is like knowing where that limit is. And I feel like it was definitely the same in here. So yeah, that was a unique challenge, and to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to that challenge again. But we always have next week.
Speaking of next week, Iowa, how do you feel about the racetrack? It is a track with different pavement, of course, now these days.
Yeah, hopped in the sim the other day. I don't even remember when it was at this point. But hopped in it the other day to kind of actually check over one of the Alpha Prime cars. Shout out Alpha Prime. Setup they ran last year. And I quickly found out that Iowa does not run how I remember it running. I've only done a few races on that pavement, and I think actually no, I think I've only done one, and I won it in a truck league, and I really shouldn't have won it, but they wrecked. I was on like a 4-race win streak at that point, and they all wrecked in front of me. And that was going to be the race that I was definitely going to lose, but they all wrecked in front of me trying to win, and then ended up winning, and that was like 4 or 5 in a row. That was kind of crazy, but that track is really hard now. It was kind of straightforward before. You'd kind of just find your line that you felt comfortable in. You could make rotation and kind of go, but now, like, new pavement, at least in the sim, I don't know how it feels in real life, but in the sim, it almost feels like the oil in it is still there enough to kind of make you slide. So it's almost like completely fresh asphalt. So like it doesn't it has grip, like it has speed, has lap time in it, but really doesn't have much grip. So it's a very strange thing to do, but it's a good track though. I love Iowa. I love Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you know that, Justin. I love Caitlin Clark, and she's from Iowa. Half my family's from Iowa, so yeah, it's a home track for me, just like Martin Truex Jr. And I'm looking forward to going to Newton.
Anyone you else want to give a shout out to here today?
I told Morgan if I got interviewed, I'd ask, do you have any other questions, because I talked so long, so I just wanted to get that one in there. But yeah, no, everybody on the 44 team, this was a big team win for sure. Our boy Zach crashed very early, unfortunately, so we didn't have any teammates. But Ricky, I want to give a shout out to Ricky, because he was a dog, man. He really helped out there at the end. I think he was nursing some damage. I think kind of we all were. I know I was, after I got wrecked by that peanut in like the 45 or whatever. But yeah, he was nursing some damage, and he kind of just let me have the lane into one, and didn't really challenge all that much. And I think that really sealed it for me. So I wanna give a huge shout out to Ricky, and then obviously you guys for the broadcast, the whole league. My girlfriend, who's currently in Boston, and these Smuckers or whatever, Uncrustables, for getting me through the day.
Congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Ashton Crowder unofficially, as he said, race winner tonight. Ricky Paz came away in second. Here's Morgan.
Yeah, man, a few words Ashton Crowder is for sure. Ricky Paz, you got a copy up here. Morgan and Justin in the booth.
Morgan and Justin, how's it going? Welcome to Friday, boys.
Yeah, what a wild race, I think is the right way to put it. From your seat, finishing second, you got that one lap lead. You kind of hung around the front all day. Found some little bit of speed from yesterday. What do you attribute that to?
Well, number one, teamwork, right? I think we had Indy in the race, and he was, kind of pushing me to go a little bit faster. So just the morale boost, I think. And then John Stellard on the box for us at the crew chief position. So last night we were all by ourselves, but had the full team in full force tonight. And yeah, I just think a little bit of confidence goes a long way here at the streets of Chicago.
It seemed to make the dream work, as they say. Let's go to that final restart. You restarted, I think, in second, maybe third, around Crowder. He just gave you a shout out in his interview for kind of giving him the spot, nursing some damage, and not fighting too terribly difficultly on that last restart. I mean, how How difficult was it to fire off in this car, never really knowing when it was going to step out or if it was even going to stop for the next corner?
That's a good question, Morgan. You know, I had a lot of practice over the week just trying to figure out where the rev limiter would kind of make the rear tires chatter. And I called an audible, I want to say at the start of stage 2 to start in second gear instead of first. And I lost a lot of ground. I said, well, that's it. I guess we're going to start in first from here on out. Our bed was kind of made for us. But yeah, I think the biggest struggle that I had was just a little bit under braking. As I incurred more damage racing with Beckett in the beginning, I had front end damage, and then I had a couple wall taps. I started to lose a little bit of the handling of the car, and then I started to lose brake pressure towards the end too. So, yeah, I thought it was a good overall race, and these cars are a blast. I enjoy driving these every night. P1 last week, P2 this week. We'll just keep earning all the points we can.
Well, there you go. Now, you mentioned damage, and a lot of drivers collected a lot of damage, millions in damage here tonight on the streets of Chicago. When does that mindset ever flip for you from going from we're just going to go complete our own race to, oh my goodness, I have to survive because everyone is crashing around me? Does that ever switch in your head, or is it always just the same level, Ricky Paz from start to finish?
Yeah, I think the switch happened when the 44 was in front of me. That's when that switch happened. We're chasing that guy every single week. So I've got a lot of respect for Ashton Crowder. He's always been a clean racer, and he's aggressive. And I think in my short tenure, in my short few races, I've had a run in with him or two, but always respectful, and we've always talked it out. He was really quick. And I knew that when I saw him out-qualify me by 2 seconds, I was like, as long as we're in front of him, we're pushing. And as long as he's in front of us, we're fighting for second. So honestly, you've got to have a bit of survival tactics here at the streets of Chicago. And I think all of my experience with the open wheel road course racing and the IndyCar and everything, all that stuff kind of is just natural. You want to fight for those tenths of a second that you can find, but you got to stay within your own limits. If you start overdriving, you're losing more time than you're gaining, so it's not worth it.
For sure. And while we got you up here, I'm sure you have some shout outs to give, so the floor is yours.
I've got some apologies first, Morgan. I think I want to get out of Chicago alive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we had that incident with Beckett Brown, just a lockup. It was unfortunate. Already reached out to him, and there seemed to be some issue on the last lap with I don't know who that was, whoever was behind me, but
Trevor Keith.
He says that I brake checked him, and I'm happy to send him telemetry to prove that I didn't. But unfortunate that he got caught up in that anyway. So good, clean racing. Happy to race those guys. Ashton Crowder, congrats on the win. Clayton Good came out of nowhere, so good P3. Good race to him. Got to thank my fiance and our dog who have been supporting me this race. She doesn't know how hard it is to ride around the streets of Chicago, but she's watching anyway. So thanks to Anna, thanks to Hallie, thanks to Votive Racing, John Steller, Shane Coker, Andy Kirkenbauer, all the boys over there on the IndyCar team. And got to thank VSPEED, iRacing. Got to thank Sofa News, Victory Lane. Who else are we thanking? Morgan, Slim Chickens Cup Series. What else am I missing?
You pretty much got
thanks
all
to Brandon.
Of them. Yeah.
Big thanks to Brandon for everything that he does over here in the Mystic Racing League. And on to next week.
All right. I think only one you miss is the fans. I'll get those for you. Thank you, everyone watching
thanks,
here
fans.
on VSPEED. Yeah. Just like Ricky, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the racing action here. Thank you for your time, Ricky. Congratulations on second spot here tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ricky Paz coming away in second tonight. Clayton Good comes away with the top 3. Clayton,
what's up, guys?
How surprised are you about a top 3? You get it done on a road course.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Feel pretty good about it. Started from last place too, so really happy with it. Unfortunately, I felt like I had top 3 pace all day. It's just unfortunate. Got some damage in the middle of it, so I had to deal with that, and just got lucky with the 2 drivers in front of me getting involved with each other and stole it from them.
How tricky has it been this season to find your way into the podium in the first place?
Pretty not too bad, honestly. I felt like I've had top 10 pace all season. It's just learning how these guys drive, learning where I have the advantages at some tracks. And honestly, I probably should have had a win or two, maybe, earlier in the season. But yeah, just really happy with my progress so far. Still in the points, still in the top 12 for the chase. So be looking towards that.
So that in mind, what's your approach going to be for Iowa next week?
A go like hell.
Simple as that?
Yes, sir.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yes, sir. I would like to give a shout out to my pops. He's actually the sponsor on my car. It's his company that's on my car. So really happy that I got to get a podium with these guys, with him on my car. So I would like to give him a shout out. So
congratulations on the run tonight, Clayton.
yes, sir. Thank you very much, guys.
Clayton, good rounds at our top 3 discussions. I'd like to thank the entire top 3 for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on VSPEED. Your final thoughts on tonight, Morgan, as the MRL, they had a wild weekend here in the Windy City, as next time out they go short track racing.
I think wild is the right way to describe this event. I would say that is true. Over half the field failed to finish. Yeah, this is a wild, wild night. Congratulations to Ashton Crowder for sweeping the week for the first time ever. Congratulations for Clayton Good for getting a podium, as well as Ricky Paz. I mean, just a crazy race. The finish was wild with Trevor Keith and Christian Barnes and all those shenanigans. Just, I don't know. Not much more to say here for the Lakeshore 190.
Indeed, but it's just about time to say goodnight for tonight's coverage here on VSPEED. I thank everyone for tuning in for tonight's coverage here from Chicago. For co-announcer and producer Morgan Cook, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Watching tonight's coverage of the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Congratulations unofficially to Ashton Crowder, your winner from Chicago.